So, honestly, I feel like within the black community, we do a really trash job at dealing with the issues that actually matter. Trauma is actually associated with going natural. I think that properly dealing with dual texture disorder, DTD, is super important to our survival, as a race. So, I'm starting up a digital support group for ladies who are transitioning. I applied for a grant with Rainbow Push, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, I didn't think you were still coming.
Yeah, well,
Come on in. Hey, girl, look, I'm sorry for what happened the other night, okay? Don't pay Tristan no mind. He's just another little boy trying to climb, you know?
yeah, I remember. Thanks.
We good? Because if we wasn't, you wasn't going to say nothing, okay? Because Lord knows you need help. This is for you.
What is it?
Soul glow. I remember when my hair was like this. Transitioning?
Unfortunately.
Figure we watch something you ain't never seen yet. Oh, you can sit. I don't bite. What type of hair you got? Okay. This will work. You sure you're okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
When we go to Texas, down to my dad's people that lived in Texas, it really got me when I was like 7 or 8 years old. And we would drive up and they would look at me and say, "Oh, look at the little black cow." Say, "Oh, she looks just, I know whose granddaughter she is. You looked exactly like Nancy." And I would almost start to cry then because my grandmother, Nancy, was an overweight, heavy-set black woman that was mean as could be. And I thought they probably were saying in my younger day, her younger day, she probably looked like me. But for them to say that then, that just tore me up. Every time they say, "Oh, that's Nancy's grandchild," I thought, do they think I look like her? No one ever told you that you look nice. They never told you that you was pretty. So I never knew that. I really had no idea that what I had was great, you know? And it took me a long time. And then I thought, surely everybody can be wrong, can they? So I started looking in the mirror and then I started fixing myself up.
Tender-headed. My mama always said a tender head makes a weak mind. If your head ain't even good enough holding up all your own hair, then what good is it holding all the stuff in your brain? And when she said that, I low-key get offended because I would be the one crying, sniffling, snotting and stuff. And mad because when we were in Maryland, she let me wear my hair straight and easy. But when we would visit St. Catherine or my pop's folks in Accra, she'd say, "No, Ember, we're preparing for a journey." And she braided up. So I ain't as tender-headed as I used to be. Gotta be strong for the journey. Mine's gotta be ready. That's what we're here for.
I'm here to find a major.
No, sis, like, seriously, some of the things in the books is just not gonna teach us.
I have seen it before. The movie, I've seen it. When I was little, I used to wear my hair in these fat little braids. We used to go to my grandma's house after church, like way into the city. And all of my cousins and their little friends from around the block would come over for dessert. And my grandma, she would turn on BET or something because they were always showing a movie. And she needed us to quiet down for her after church nap. And they'd be playing The Color Purple. And the other girls would look at me and point. And this one cousin would always call me Celie. And I don't know. I didn't want much to do with them after that. I guess it was easier for me to run away from the little black girls than to face them in the mirror. Is that good?
Oh. Yeah, it's good.
Girl, why did Professor Carlson have the audacity to give me an A-? He knew that paper was fire. Hey, sorry, I forgot you was doing hair today.
No, you're good.
Hey, Amadea.
I know. I mean, Amaya. They said your name at the first BSU meeting.
You haven't been back.
Leave her alone.
I was just asking a question.
I don't know why I let Vaughn talk.
That's your friend.
Whose friend? Just because we get the same money does not mean I voted for
Vaughn
her
is
controlling
president.
act.
President speaks to board members, officers, massa.
Ouch.
If y'all was really about it, you let that queen stay on her soapbox and do your grinding from the trenches. The beautiful could have the platform, faces beat, hair laid on that MLK. I'll be on that bay, I'm rusting. Then Ella Baker.
MLK wasn't no pretty pacifist professor.
Okay,
Thank
yeah,
you.
but still.
Okay, and
Ember, we were supposed to be at the meeting 30 minutes ago.
oh shoot, I forgot I had practice.
I am tired of this. It's too much. You're just gonna let them run your whole life for a fashion
It's
show?
art, it's sacrifice.
It's too much.
Oh
I'm
my
telling
God.
you, you're not home.
What are you doing?
No.
I gotta go.
No.
Oh my God, I gotta answer the. You just gonna let Dre run your whole life?
Hey.
Hey.
Amber is not home. I don't know where she is. I'll tell her you were by.
much of your soul are you gonna give away? You gonna get tired trying to make yourself into
I can say the
somebody
same thing
else.
about you, man.
Hiding in your own room.
Sis, you're hiding too. Dre breaks up with you and you implode? What about honoring him?
I am honoring him. Tell me. Tell me. All-knowing queen. If everybody in your family gets that 3B hair and you're the only one born kinky, all your sisters get to choose the hijab, but you're a lower-class target with or without it. And niggas don't even look at you twice with or without it. And the one who does is only looking because you only started pressing your shit. Tell me, if you wanted to build yourself back up, would you go around hating every reflection you see of yourself? Or would you go for something deeper? You get to be something other than your hair, something beyond yourself. God gives a way to bear an image beyond your appearance. What would your Jesus tell you to do? I'm trying to learn to love myself in private again. And it's hard. So fuck me if every single once in a while I stumble. Damn it. Shit.
Here, let me help. It's really pretty.
Me?
Sorry, I didn't mean
No, I'm just going through a lot of things.
Sis, I'm trying to.
I know.
I'm just working on some things.
Yeah, we are.
I think it, to me, feels like this thing that like my ancestors handed down to me from a place of being told that they weren't beautiful enough or smart enough, but knowing that they were royalty anyway. So like the invisible crown, right? So like knowing like, oh, I'm a queen, kind of like Jesus when he was here was like a king but didn't look like a king the way you thought. So it's like this power that lives inside of you that you know about and that other people can recognize, but if they don't recognize it, part of the power is they don't have to. I mean, society has told Black women for so long that we're not gifted with beauty, but we don't believe that lie because magic says it's not here.
We begin like caterpillars, small, fuzzy, wearing our nappiness like a shield or a secret. Or shame. Is what we want. Is what we want.
How often do you give fades?
About every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. And how long have you been doing this?
Since my sophomore year. You good?
Yeah. Now, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Why would I jack you up? What kind of big bro will I be?
Listen, I don't need nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Just give me like a B-list celebrity, you know? Make me look like a love interest in a Tyler Perry joint, all right?
Oh, Tyler Perry?
Yeah.
All right, I got you.
Crawling where we're planted, filling our minds with the known, our world starts small. But when we're big enough, it happens. We enter the cocoon, certain of who we're supposed to be, but unsure of what we will become. Metamorphosis, noun, a fierce transformation. Transformation from the young to the grown, the fear to the form, the old to the new, the wondering to the knowing, the black to the enough.
I seen your SoundCloud, bro. You spit?
I mean, I spit a little something, son.
All right. What's good with it then? Yeah.
All right.
Noun, a transfiguration, rejection of the darkness that eats away at our confidence, and acceptance of the truth. Noun, a spiritual transmutation, becoming who we never knew we could.
Look, all love. I just don't think this is for you. Maybe for somebody else. But I love you though. All right? It's just one of those things.
Did you know that it hurts? Well, yeah, it hurts. And it's gruesome and ugly and hard. It's quiet because nobody can see that a miracle, an entire biological, physiological, spiritual miracle is happening inside of that cocoon you've built. And nobody knows you're becoming new until it's already happened. Fine, I think. A in Spanish and the graphic novel. My diaspora studies class is super cool. I got a C on my chem midterm, but I should be okay, right? My friend Lena's tutoring me. You've met Lena.
Mm-hmm. And how would you say you're acclimating socially?
I'm getting better.
Awesome. And how would you describe your mental health?
Oh, I don't know if I know how to describe it. Things feel foggy, but there's light, I guess, when I get...
Cool. And you're not a standing member of the BSU, correct?
Correct.
And how would you say you're using the resources provided by the university for minorities and people of color?
If you don't want to be
No.
here, I get it.
It's fine. It's been a tough week.
Do you want to talk about it? It's actually been hard. Like, God, why did you bring me here knowing that I'm like this? I spend more time on trying to do/say the right things than like actual class. Some bright spots, though, I mean, still dark spots, but there are bright ones too. Cool people still exist, so that's nice. Being with God is also different. Hard. Weird. New. Been feeling like, yeah, maybe he does actually see me. Just making sure your evaluation is thorough.
I thought I had this one. Needed it.
By whose standards? Living up to folks like this is tiring.
Well, sometimes we have to do shit we don't want to do.
I like your earrings. I couldn't pull them off.
You'd be surprised how much power they hold. I have a Weston Guides meeting.
It's about preparation, growing within ourselves. And inside of that cocoon, we reach a point when we have no choice but to transform. It's coded in our soul, written in our biology, a birthright. Because the metamorphosis, it's not for them, it's for us.
And you can get it back. So cherish what you have and not what you lack. The sides of me you never get to see. A sides of me that says it's time to leave. Oh, somewhere that lies a chance for me to stop and go. I wanna fly, but scared of the
There's a part of me that's like, that's cute, but being grown and handling your business, that's not a black girl thing, that's a black woman thing, right? Like, your little girl self can't run the show in the kind of cute, sassy kinds of ways that we celebrate Black girl magic sometimes. Now, your grown woman self might be like, well, I remember when I was little, I wanted to take over the world. But your grown self is the one who has to show up in times of contention, in times of conflict, in times of leadership. It's not our little girl selves that run the show and get done what we need to. Because you had to fight. Your little girl had to fight to grow up. And so there's a way that we need to be able to address what it meant to grow up beyond girlhood while still appreciating the wonder and the audacity and the innocence and the power and the creativity that dwells within us, that little girl stuff that's within us. But I'm like, no, don't call me black girl magic. Nah, this is black woman magic, because it took a lot, to mature into this place of full magic and majesty.
See, butterflies grow wings, but black girls, we grow hoops, gold ones, hanging from our ears, smelted by our ancestors who've already been transformed, smelted with memory, so no matter where we go, we can always hear and be and fly wherever we're meant to fly. 'Cause it's a big world out there. So we wear our hoops to let them know who we are. Let them know that our wings come with the DNA. Nobody can wear them like us. Strong, but fragile. A kaleidoscope of flight. Our hoop wings are made for survival. 'Cause we'll never find freedom if we don't learn how to fly towards it. Self-determined, we soar towards our fullest selves, one stroke at a time. So even though the cocoon don't feel cute, we'll grow our hoops one day.
Dreaming things that maybe I can be, hoping that I make a better life that I can see. I'm feeling the spaces. I'm feeling the spaces.
And it's slow and painful and sometimes overwhelming and always confusing, but necessary. Yeah, we'll grow our hoops, but not before the metamorphosis.
And so every time I read a Black women writer or a Black feminist writer, and I feel that kinship, I feel like I can fly, because when someone writes something like that, for me, anything really that speaks directly to my experience, it's like a chain drop. And then I ask, well, what becomes of us, or what can become of us when those are dropped? Or what happens when we transform the way we think about those weights, or the way we think about those chains? Because sometimes even just trying to transform the weight becomes the form of magic, and you can turn the weights into wings. And, we have this really beautiful way, Black girls, of being so completely ourselves, in a way that I don't see a lot of other people being able to do that. When we come into our own, when we are the fullest version of ourselves, whether it be in digital spaces, physical spaces, in our spiritual lives, we come alive in ways that are very beautiful, very colorful, very vibrant. And I think it's so magical. It gives you wings.
You may think I'm magical, but what's magic if you can't feel it? Taste it if you don't believe in it. Magic, this elusive thing that we try to write a recipe for, capture, wrap our minds around, grab a hold of. This spirit that somehow seems to embody everybody but you. It'd be holy if it left you feeling whole, but
Don't be fooled. These acts of ingenuity were about more than survival. In the midst of slavery, in the midst of rape, forced labor, trauma, the ability not only to take the worst of life, the most undesired parts of plants and animals, and not only make them literally dance in your mouth, but make that dance harken back to Senegambia, Ghana, Angola. That's innovation. That's creativity. That is genius. Soul food is an act of protest. More next class. Read the Michael W. Twitty text for your discussion sections. I don't really like to do this, but I'll give you points back on your midterm if you prepare and give a response on a soul food dish. 5 points. Don't miss your blessing, y'all.
my grandma told me that we don't believe in black magic, voodoo, that African stuff. She said it's not of God. It's not what we believe.
This lounge is disgusting. Remember when we destroyed your grandma's kitchen trying to be like the Great British Bake Off? I thought we were gonna die. How was class?
Fine.
Okay, then. Are you still thinking about Orgo for next semester?
I don't know, maybe.
What's up?
What do you mean?
I mean, you barely say 2 words to me.
I'm studying.
Okay, but we'll be in the same place, but I don't know, in 2 different places.
E-school is tough. You know, we're not the only 2 black girls anymore. We don't have to be.
Good, y'all.
Where did you get that?
Wow.
You went grocery shopping in the dining hall?
Trifling.
I'm already paying for it.
That's exactly what
That's not that deep, man.
It is though.
I cleaned up the kitchen.
Cool.
Are you not staying for dinner?
I'm not hungry.
It's about to be fine.
Maybe we need some space. We're just different now. I'll see you around.
You good?
Okay, what's first?
So would it be macaroni and cheese baked? Because that's the only way. That's the only way to eat macaroni and cheese. It would also be some green beans because I really love green beans, and it would be like 3 cups of egusi, which is my favorite food, egusi and pounded yam, sprinkled in with some confidence, sprinkled in with you better not look at me the wrong way, with a dash of I'm here for my people all the time, all day, every day. Oh, sprinkled in with a couple of
a couple of flakes of I'm always on beat. I always clap on the shoes in the floors. With a generous pouring of coconut oil. Because my edges need to be healthy. Because honestly, you know why they need to be healthy? Because so many Black women have been snatching them. So I need the coconut oil and castor oil to regrow them. So I'll put that in the recipe. With another cup of grace, because everyone can use grace, and a generous helping of humor, because that's how I get through life.
There's not a lot of things that I hate about people, but I cannot stand the way that you cut those greens.
I'm tired of you talking about
You're
how I
tired
cut
of
greens.
please change
I'm tired
it.
of it.
She said soul food, and I don't know what that is, but my soul is hurting watching it. You have onions in the greens, Amaya.
And
Not a day in my Black life have I seen onions in greens.
first off, I want to know how you cook greens. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure it won't taste fire like mine.
Fire.
I'm just saying.
You're making smoothies. What do you mean?
You're funny. You have Joe.
I mean, hey,
Joe.
you know, I guess I grew up on the soul part of Chicago.
Oh.
Suburbia.
At the end of the day, you're the one doing the cornbread. I'm the one doing the greens.
And I wish we switched.
Well,
You
it's
wanna
too late
switch
now.
now?
No, it's too late now.
I'm telling
It's too
Ember.
late now. Go ahead, tell Ember.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What do you do again?
What do you do?
Miss Plie. Miss Dancer.
And
That's what you're going for, right?
no, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to major in, but dancing is not it.
Why not?
Because that's just something I like to do when I have nothing else to do.
Nothing else. Amaya, the way that you talk to me about dancing, that does not seem like something you just do for fun.
I don't know yet.
Then what you want to be?
A degree holding member of
No, I'm
society.
for real. Like, what you want to be? If you could be anything.
I guess I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, I know. Because you've been so busy doing all that crazy stuff.
Like
Talking like somebody that ain't you. Changing your clothes, reading Cornell West or whatever.
that's not crazy.
I mean, yeah, but it ain't you.
I'd be spirit. I'd transcend space and time and physicality. I'd be soul. Because nobody can capture that, you know? Nobody can tell it where to move, how to move, or give it rights to move. When spirit moves, it doesn't need validation. It's free from all of that. I'd be a dancer.
That's already you.
Yeah,
No, I'm for real. I mean, you are that. You stay in the studio, you just got to say yes to the facts. Come on, dance. You know, do a little something.
No, that's just for me. It doesn't feel that easy.
Dang, Lake Forest. I'm gonna have to put you on my mixtape.
LOL.
You got bars talking about transcendence or whatever.
You keep talking about this tape, and I've literally heard none.
You know, just wait on it. It's coming.
No, I mean,
Come on, it's a process.
what? We know you got the beats. Just go ahead and spit a little something.
Doesn't feel that easy. Cornbread's done.
What? I am not a museum exhibit. Look how we got here. This look good. This look good. Who's seasoning?
You better
But what if black didn't mean broken, didn't mean evil? What if when we said black, we meant good? What if black magic tasted like brown honey? What if God concocted something uniquely dark, uniquely African, uniquely me? A holy spiritual potion that connected me to the same confidence that made my ancestors sparkle. Wouldn't that be something to believe in?
First of all, it's a potion. It's like not even a recipe, it's a potion. It's an actual potion. I would have a cauldron and it would be like my personal brand of black girl magic potion it would be like a little black cauldron, surrounded by sunflowers with like maybe some gemstones in it. So like possibly I like amethyst. That's my birthstone. And I just like the energies that surrounds amethyst. So I would have like amethyst. It would have water because I feel that in order to be your best black girl self, you stay hydrated. It would have coconut oil. It would probably also have vanilla extract for some reason. It would have probably a page out of Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo by Ntozake Shange, a nameplate necklace in it, maybe the first couple of notes of a Lauryn Hill song. In order for it to work, it would need to have Lauryn Hill playing in the background. Hoop earrings. The kind that you can also wear as bracelets if you really wanted to. And just some paint. A lot of paint. I think that's the recipe for my black girl magic potion.
That's you. Girl, if you don't get up there.
Praise the Lord. Saints, my name is Amaya Jones. I'm a freshman at Weston studying, well, I don't know yet, but something humanities. I'm from Illinois, and I'm blessed to be here. Saints.
Do we have any other first-time visitors? We are now calling for an A selection from the choir. We will now have an B selection from the choir. The Mother's Board's having fish fry to support the Senior Sweated Saints Zuma ministry. Now y'all were calling for a Q selection from the choir.
Hallelujah, Jesus. We worship your name, Jesus. You're the lily of the valley, Jesus. Ooh, bright and morning star, sweet Jesus. I don't care how anointed or how called or how chosen you are. Many times, when you feel like you're the strongest, that's really when you are the most vulnerable. The Bible says that Elijah, he faced some false prophets of Baal. And the Bible said that he conquered all of them. He called fire down from heaven. But many times we can forget where God has brought us from. The Bible says that he was so depressed that God had to go into the cave and send an angel to speak life into him and to encourage him and remind him of who you are in God. And the Bible says God sent the angel to the cave to remind Elijah, man, don't you know what I've done for you? Don't you know all the things I brought you through? If I brought you through this one, I will bring you through that one. Every now and then, you just need to be reminded of who you are in God. God's love is so amazing. His love is so omnipotent. The Bible declares that love covers a multitude. God, when he sees us, he don't see your failures. When he sees us, he don't see your faults. When he sees us, he don't see your struggles. He see your potential. He see what he put inside of you. And the devil is always trying to remind you of what you can't do. But there's a scripture that should make you dance and rejoice. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. You're more than a conqueror. You may have made some mistakes, but God will take your mistakes and make it a miracle. He will take your trash and make it your treasure.
Keep going. You gotta keep on going. Yeah, say it. Hello. But doesn't he know? We don't act like that. We don't act like that. We don't act like that.
He'll take your junk and make it your jewelry. He'll take your dirt and make it your diamonds. He'll take your pain and make it your power and your pain. Don't give up on God. God's love and his grace is real and it's for you right now. Pick yourself up. Wipe your tears. God's love is for you. Receive it. Accept it. Walk in and let God be God in your life.
Scheming, these cowards scheming. They be plotting for no reason in any season. They can catch your brother leaning, have him thinking. They ain't trying to slow his breathing, homie, just breathe in. But be sure that you can exhale, give it self-help. We can make it out of this hell, be our best selves. And you know that they gon' keep trying to seize the exhale. But God ain't never taking breaks, and my faith on exhale. So don't change the way we feel when the baby blood shed. Neutral quarters in our face, that's and why we obsessed. Scary truth within us all, and we rarely confess it. They can kill us like some slaves, wonder who they take next. There's too many young teens gain their wings too soon. All they worry about is tools to survive high school. Now they gotta dodge a tool from the killers in the blue. Shouldn't have to be consumed by these pressures. It ain't cool, but they do. Pray for peace, shouldn't have to stay low. Bro, so evil that the trauma package by the case slow. But it know we gon' be fine when I look up in the sky. Even though it made me cry, I can see the rainbow. I can see our weeds from miles.
The people going.
Marty got shot by G.I. Joe.
The people going.
The mom called the doctor and the doctor said, who said it's not Barney dead? Who said it's not Barney dead?
The people going.
You see how pain coming sure as the rain comes. Searching for rainbows in the midst of tornadoes. Hard to feel hope with the chains on our ankles. One day we gon' fly unchained like Django. Seeing signs from my angels. Got me cause I need it, ain't no wet on my ankles. Remind me when I'm heated that ain't sweet like mangoes. Reveling in my rage of this place full of hate. Need
the white Jesus, but it definitely had me start asking some questions. Probably not the forefront of my mind, but certainly gave the white Jesus a run for his money. And not only is it liberation theology, but I'm running into womanist theology. And when I say run, it really does sound like how I said it. And now for real, like, I think that was the beginning of for real of the ending of the white Jesus. And I felt like I was doing a cha-cha with womanist theology, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Because I was interested in it, and at the same time, afraid of it. Womanist theology, everything is up for question, right? Because now we're shifting the lens. So it's not just that we're reading these biblical stories through a different lens. It's also demands something different. It demands you speak up about some things that, you thought somebody else was supposed to speak up about. And so there's this transformation that starts to happen. And so that was life-changing for me.
Wait, do you know him or something? No, I've never.
Black American theology has to be lived and experienced, because for so much of the creation of our foundational theology, whether you're Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal, AME, whatever it is, so much of it, like, we didn't know how to write. So, like, we don't have these books and these theologians from 1754 that so many other, that white people have. So I think there's something really beautiful about Black theology being lived. And I even see that in, like, the way that some churches I've been a part of are really committed to wanting to be the church, as we see it in the book of Acts. Like, this Bible thing has to be a lived thing, because, like, that's what's in our bone. Just the way that Black people connect to the Exodus story, like, God delivered the Israelites from slavery, and God literally delivered us from slavery. Like, he's the God who delivers. He literally delivered us from slavery. That's crazy. And that's something that I hope that our people will never let go of. It matters who we are.
I just like to tell Black stories and show Black people being Black and doing what they do, being Black and alive. That's kind of what I like to write about. Like I said, I think it's achievement every day to be Black in this country and to go to sleep at 11:59 p.m. and wake up the next day and still be alive. Like, that should be applauded. You should get a gold star, Medal of Freedom, because it's hard. I think being Black, yeah, it's amazing, and we have such a rich culture, and we're beautiful people. But a lot about being Black is living life on the edge, right? Grandmaster Flash, don't push me because I'm close to the edge, right? And I do think widely, or more broadly about being Black is just living life in a constant state of precarity.
Let me set the record straight. Black people can swim. Some of us just don't. Some of us are afraid of water. When we see water, we see death. Have you ever looked into the stream and seen a reflection of yourself? A murky mirror marking your past, like a scientific reality lodged in the very cells of your melanin, standing close to our edges but never jumping in.
From my insides, depression, help me with my anxiety. Anxiety feels like, feel my fears. Feels like, feel my fears.
Ain't it crazy how it's real and what its figment can get blended, make it hard to see the truth. Gotta keep in mind, like all the times our mind and body ain't aligned, like both can yell, but only one may make it through. What a kind of logic that say shower them in kindness, treat them like they be your highness, don't get none of that yourself. Caring for your sisters and your brethren, pouring from an empty cup can overwhelm your eyes of crying out for help. Know your father there when you aligned and out of step. You got the kind of spirit can't be purchased off a shelf. You be God reflection when you feeling disconnected. Disconnect from your devices, close your eyes and take a breath. It's way easier to say the challenge come from taking action, but you gotta start from somewhere cause you long for satisfaction. In this home you call a body and a mind, and never mind all of the times you would decline. Relax your spine, open your eyes, know you divine.
This is real life. I say a prayer with my reflectors on the left just don't feel right. When I'm not well with my reflection, can you tell what it feel like? Secession from my inside.
When we see water, we see death. 400 years of life flashing before our eyes, 400 reasons to stay on the shore. Reason number, one too many bones dissolved into dust on the ocean floor. Reason number, no one ever asked us to climb aboard. They took us in droves, too tragic to count. Reason number 559 for a box of Dark and Lovely. I worked too hard for my respectability to get it wet. Reason number 12 million stolen dreams. Reason number 1619, the beginning of being drowned in the land of the free. Reason number 1896 brings us to reason number 2, separate but equal fountains. They said my water was inferior. Plessy versus 6 shots fired in Ferguson versus I don't even let my son play with water guns for fear that they might kill him. Reason number, this ain't old news. Reason number 1955, we found Emmett Till's body in the Tallahatchie, so you can miss me with the Mississippi wade in the water. It's already been troubled. So why on earth would we surround ourselves in something that we can't even taste? I mean, if Blint was the only water UH2 knew, wouldn't you be afraid to drink too? Let alone immerse your whole body in a lead-poisoned pool. When we see water, we see death. There's a reason that we're afraid to consume. See, sin has penetrated our water supply. Satan made liquid death out of the very thing we need to survive. He manipulated the word into massless lies. So we turned our back from the one who breathes new life, and it was never supposed to be that way. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He gave it form and filled the void and separated the skies from the sea. Water was important from the jump. Day 3 hit and he thought of me, said, let there be pools of love to surround me, said, I won't leave you drowning. So he sent a lifeguard to save me, created rivers of living water for purging and called it good. I looked in, felt the water, and looked away. Blocking from my memory every calm storm, every parted sea, every creation that he ever controlled. From my eyes flowed the same stuff that I was afraid of. I said, "Black people can't swim," and he looked at me like, "Yo, are you questioning my sovereignty? Like, am I not the one who created the sea? In the business of delivering from Galilee to Calvary, I told Peter to follow me, and yet you doubt my ability to keep you safe in the very thing that I created. Baby, I didn't even ask you to float. I told you to keep your eyes on me." He said, "I want to make you new, baptize you." Yes, I said baptize, like submerge you in water from your crown to your feet, dip you in water and return you to your natural state, the state that lets you dive into my fullness with no fear of getting wet. See, we were designed to worship, like coils proclaiming God's glory. Now we're tangled. The enemy came in like a relaxer, corrupting the strands of our being to look like the world. Assimilation, a sinful nation rebelled against the God of our waves. But hallelujah, he came with a plan. A 3C deity who came to earth as man. He transitioned us from dry bones and brittle strands to an eternity that glistens like coconut oil. All you have to do is let him cut off the broken ends. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the Atlantic, I will fear no sea, for you created every ocean, every little creek. You, Father, are the redeemer of history, of the tsunami that came before me, a wave so strong that it smells of crushed bones, bodies broken, heritages thrown over wooden boats into the endless sea. But your black body, broken, was hung up on a wooden tree. I've never seen a more horrific police brutality, innocent, perfect, never to be proven guilty. You became a miracle martyr, a civil rights creator, my brother, walking down the streets with Skittles and a hoodie on purpose. You died that I might swim, that you would sanctify and cleanse me with the washing of water by the word. Let him lead you. Let him lead you to his throne one stroke at a time. The Lord who gives the oppressed the power to fight, the God who has the power to purify. Let him be your Brita. Let him restore. He will refresh you like the still waters you walk beside. Like hyssop and chlorine, his blood will make you clean and give you a holy comforter to embrace you like the life vest you always longed for. Black people can swim. Some of us just don't. We have to figure out which truth to believe. The one that says 400 more years of bondage to struggle? Or the one where he planned for us to dive 400 feet deep?
During my freshman year, Keith Lamont Scott was shot in Charlotte, North Carolina by the police. And, because UNC is a state university and Charlotte is a giant city, so much of our population comes from Charlotte. So, the campus felt that really, really heavily, especially the Black community. So, there were protests going on, and I was, at all of them. And you could find me in, any of the main gathering areas on campus any day of the week, yelling about something and calling it a poem. And I think I was trying then to be as Black as I could, to be yes, I am Black, I will fight, I am for the people, but that's not really who I am, and I don't think that's how God created me to fight. And over the course of college, it's been a process of learning that I don't have to be at every protest to be down for the cause and to be Black. There are other ways that he's made me to work in this. I was doing the most as a freshman, and I had a come to Jesus moment at the very beginning of my sophomore year that kind of flipped my whole life around. I dropped all the extra things I was doing, and I leaned into God. I joined a campus ministry. He led me to some awesome friends, and I just took a step back and realized that I could be enough without killing myself every day trying to prove to people that I'm smart enough, Black enough, strong enough. all these things.
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
Wonderful.
Yeah, that was kind of powerful ending there for our episodes for tonight. So for those who are watching, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves and let us know what your contributions to Black Enough were.
Okay, I'll go first. My name is Brandy Nicole McLean, and I played brown skin _ Barbie in the series.
And I'm Taylor, and I play Megan, and then I'm also the digital media and marketing producer.
Wow, so people wearing multiple hats.
Yes.
Like we always do, right? Just, you know, what we have to do most of the time, isn't it? So tell me how you guys got involved with Black Enough. What spurred you to, because I know it was a lot of time and effort going into the production of season 1, and I know you guys are ramping up for season 2 production. So what about the project made you say, yes, I'm committing time and energy to this?
Honestly, the title and what also got me was poetic web series. I was like, ooh. And I was currently a senior at SMU, which is a PWI in Dallas, and I was getting my BFA in theater studies. And so getting an opportunity that was Black enough, and that's gonna be my first. Yes, please. I would love. This is the work I want to do. So, yeah, they had me then.
What about you, Taylor?
For me, it was Micah. I went to UVA with her, and we worked together for a lot of stuff at UVA. And shortly after we graduated, she messaged me about a project she was working on, and Black Enough was the working title. She thought it was going to change back then. And she asked me if I wanted to do digital media stuff for it. And I said yes. And then I later auditioned, but I started as the producer because Micah asked me.
Awesome. So we've gone through 9 episodes. Tomorrow we conclude the screening of season 1. Amaya's been going through it. I feel bad for baby girl. Poor thing, like just as she got her stride and like found some tribe to hang out with, then she kind of gets hit with this whole new well, I guess the only word for it is consequence in the society that we live in of being Black. That being dealing with the trauma of people that look like us dying on the regular for things that other people survive daily. But I really like the way the series handled it. Like it wasn't, because when most series talk about social justice or any type of police violence or anything, there's always an argument, right? There's always the pros and cons, and it's always digging into that. And I love that Black Enough kind of saved that for another moment and just allowed her to feel it and allowed us to see her feel it. I think as Black people, that's something that we don't normally allow ourselves to do. So how did that decision come to be?
Well, I think I don't know, and I know Micah's going to be able to talk back tomorrow, so I don't want to speak too much for her. But I know that a lot of this is based on her personal experience at UVA, which is where we went, and just being Black at a predominantly white institution. And also that, you know, Micah is a poet, and that's her voice saying that monologue. But she has done a lot of poetry. Her sister's a poet. So I think that was a really important episode to like the poeticness that's throughout all the episodes. That one, it really just got to stand. And I thought that that was really powerful that Amaya didn't say anything. And it was like you said, just letting her feel and like this narrative. So I don't know exactly like what experience Micah was drawing from, but I think that similarly to what you said, that she wanted to just like let the moment happen and let her feel, and like it's not about the details of who was murdered, and it's not about like, it's about the fact that no matter what, like this has a real effect on her.
Yeah. So what kinds of conversations were happening on set during the filming of this group of episodes? Because this particular group, unlike the ones we watched last night, this particular group was poetry heavy, which I loved. But it was also a more a deeper look into Amaya's inner life, right? It was instead of watching her be awkward and trying to figure things out, it really was us getting to see her inner thoughts. So what was the set like when you guys were filming these episodes?
I'd say that whenever we were on set and it was having to deal with like poetry, there was such an energy in the set of like just richness. It was just rich. And so we wanted to like savor each and every moment. So every take that we did never felt like, oh, we have to do this again. It was always like, what's the next level? Like, how can we keep enjoying this the whole time? Like, how much can we live during this? And so I think that translated extremely well during the poetry heavy sections, was because we were living already. And so then you add Micah's beautiful words on top of that, you're getting a visual story and you're hearing a visual story at the same time. So I think the combination of that was really it. Our secret to this whole series was living. We're just living.
That's amazing. And I like that. So what has been the most, I asked this of your cast members last night, so I'm going to ask you guys the same question. What was the most transformative moment for you during season 1?
I think for me, it was the community aspect, and like the friendships and relationships that were built, because it was like 3 weeks of shooting in Charlottesville, everyone coming from different places. So it was like we only really had each other. And some of the folks I had already known and worked with at UVA, and then a lot of people like Brandy and others were, you know, new. And it felt like opening up our family of Black artists that were doing all this work. And people have worked together since that time, and people are planning to work together in the future. I think it was transformative in the way that we built lasting bonds, even if like beyond just the script. We built really strong friendships on set.
Yeah. And similarly enough, I was going to say one specific moment I really remember was when we had to stay up all night, and some of us didn't know how to play spades, and other of us, so we were teaching each other how to play spades and actually like running the lines at the same time. And we were up for like
we were up for a really long time doing that. We were up for a good period of the night, and it was so fun. And like, I remember I got so caught up in the game that I was just like, guys, we gotta hurry. And they were like, Brandy, the lines. we're running the lines. It's like, my bad. But yeah, the community aspect of this show was incredible. You could just feel love everywhere. Like, I didn't know anybody when I was coming on, and I was just like, these are my people. As soon as I got here, I was like, this is gonna be fun. Because that's really how you make the best art. You have to really look around with who you're making this art with. Is it gonna be fun?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've been doing some sort of performative art since, my teenage years. And that is the one aspect that has never changed. Like, no matter if it's a live play or a filming or, whatever it is, when you have to be that vulnerable with other people on a consistent basis, there is no other choice but to make them family. They become family, and some of those bonds last your entire life. Absolutely. All right, so we've got the last episodes of the series tomorrow night. You want to give any spoilers? Do we get any spoilers out of you? No?
It gets wild.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
okay.
My favorite episodes are actually in the last 4. So I think, you're gonna watch episode 10 is one of my favorites, and the finale is one of my favorites. Both of those, this is not really a spoiler, but you'll see both of those involve actually in episode 11, there's like scenes with lots of people and extras. And I had a really good time filming those scenes. It took a lot. It took a lot of work, but those were a lot of fun. So yeah, you'll see some like big scenes that are really fun to film.
Awesome. All right. Well, we will have Micah's going to be here tomorrow night, and we will see the final 4 episodes of Black Enough tomorrow night, 7:30. Thank you guys, Brandy and Taylor, so much for joining us for a little conversation after the episodes. And see you back here tomorrow, 7:30. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys have a great night.
You too.
Bye.